ranked senior gold, and my one of my down lanes ranked gold at the same, like the last 10 minutes. It was really exciting. So I'm super excited to be here, and I kind of feel like this is part of God's plan for me to be here today. As big as His plan possibly might be, who knows where it leads or where it's going to go. But after I left convention, I told my husband, I was like, hey, that event that they have coming up in the spring, I really think I want to speak at that. He was like, okay, why don't you do it? I'm like, all right. So I start making an email, and before I can send the email, I get a call from Samantha asking me if I'd like to speak at the event. I'm like, yes, I do. I do want to speak at the event. It was really exciting. So I don't know where it's going to take me or what's going to happen, but it was really exciting to get that call, and I'm very honored to be here. So things that I've done. Okay, so being consistent is the first thing that I have to tell you guys, okay? And you've heard it today, and you'll hear it from everyone, is be consistent. You tell your customers, right, to be consistent. Take your products every day. Drink your water. Make sure you're working out or getting some exercise. Make sure you're eating well. And that's the same thing that you want to do yourself, right? I mean, you want to make sure that you're following up. You want to make sure that you're reaching out. You want to make sure that you're adding friends. You want to make sure that you're giving out samples. Like, I bring this with me into my purse at all times. And seriously, Dawn knows this. I mean, if I am like at the hotel and there's this guy and he's drinking a Red Bull, I'm like, hey, you gotta try this. And I give it to him, and I get his business card, and then I Facebook friend him right there, and then I take a screenshot. And then the next day, because I'll forget. Yeah. And so the next day I'm looking at my pictures, because you're always looking at your pictures of your kids, pictures of your Plexus, whatever. And so then I see that I screenshotted him, and I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, this is Jennifer. I met you at the hotel, and I gave you a sample of Active. Did you try it? I've gotten customers like that.
That's awesome.
And it works. It really works. So keep samples with you. I love handing out samples, but I am really, really good about following up with the people that I give samples to. I do utilize dough, and I'm liking it just because I'm a busy mom, and I can open up dough and I can see, like, okay, these are the people that I need to check in with, these are the people I need to follow up with. I have other people that I need to follow up with too that I know in my head, but I really like it a lot, and I'm excited to hear what Plexus has and works for that. So being really consistent, and something that my girlfriend and I just coined, I think we coined it at least, if no one else has heard of it, then it's mine. It's called flexibility. And what I am coining flexibility as is it's Plexus and flexibility put together as one. And everyone's flexibility looks a little bit different, right? So today I was in the nail salon getting my next goal was Ruby, right? So yes. I got my nails done for Ruby, and I am actually homeschooling 2 of our boys this year. Yikes, I've never done this before in my life, but I used to be a teacher. And so he's sitting next to me, and he's doing a lesson in the chair with the massager going, and I'm getting my nails done for my Ruby goal, and I am working on my speech for today. And I know that setting intentional time is super important, but sometimes I just gotta work it in where I can find it. And there are those days that I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I work for 2 hours, and then the boys get up, and we have one of our kids at St. Thomas High School this year, which is, yikes, a super big, giant tuition. So thank you, Plexus, for coming in at the right time, helping us pay for that tuition. And so, sometimes I'm going downtown to get them, and I've got the 2 kids that I'm doing lessons with, and I'm just all over the place. So flexibility, amazing, amazing for us.
Yes.
Something else that I like to do also on Facebook, because Facebook is so super smart. They know exactly what you
are thinking
know
about.
and what you're thinking when you go home tonight. You're going to have like all these things about health and wellness. You're like, where did this come from? So I was looking one day on Facebook, and I saw this ad about this supplement. It was not our supplement, but it was, curious. So I click on it, and I see all these people commenting like, gosh, I wish this product was all natural. I'm like, They're like, oh, I wish that maybe they used some, didn't use artificial sweeteners. I'm like, oh, I wish they focused on gut health. I'm like, okay, click. And I private messaged this girl. Her name's Vanessa. And I said, hey, Vanessa, I saw you were searching on Facebook, and you were looking for a product, and it was all natural, and you wanted something for gut health. I'm like, I need something just like that. Can I share some information with you on that? Absolutely. She's going to probably say yes, because she's curious about that particular thing. And you're going to have some people who aren't going to respond. You're going to have some people that are going to tell you no, and no doesn't mean no. No just means not right now. Go circle back with them. And then you're going to have people who are like, oh, no, I'm not into those MLMs. No, thank you. And I seriously did not know what that was when I first started. I had to Google MLM because I didn't know, if you don't know what it is, multi-level marketing. But anyway, I did not know what it was, and I was like, oh, sister, you got the wrong idea about this. And so, but the girl who did join me is Vanessa. She's on my team. She lives in Florida. I've never met her. Hopefully I will one day, but she's using the products, loving the products. And so you never know, put yourself out there, reach out to people. That is something that's super helpful for me. So a little bit about my story and a little bit about my background with Plexus. In 2016, I decided to be a customer and I needed more energy. I was a busy mom, working full time, teaching pre-K. We have 3 boys, and my husband traveled a lot. And I was always getting sick because I was dealing with snotty-nosed little kids. And so I decided to give it a try. So a few months in, I started to notice more energy. I started to feel better. I wasn't getting sick. And I was like, okay. So my upline, Lauren, reached out to me. She's like, hey, you want to get your products cheaper? I'm like, sure, I'm a teacher. I love getting my products cheaper. So she's like, well, do you want to work the business? I'm like, oh, no. Maybe in the future. And when I'm ready, you'll know. Because I'm an all-in kind of girl. And I told her, I said, eventually I will be ready, but the time is not right now. And so I started learning a little bit more about the products, and then this is where I fell in love with Plexus. One day I was being mom, walking around, doing whatever I needed to be doing, and taking care of our boys, and I fell to the ground. And I couldn't get up. And a little background with that, I have scoliosis, and I had spinal surgery when I was 17 years old, so I have a rod top to bottom, can't bend my back whatsoever. And something happened, something snapped, and I fell down, and I yelled for my husband. He has to carry me to bed, and he has to carry me to the doctor the next day to put me in a wheelchair. I didn't know, like, what am I gonna do? So I get to the doctor, and they're like, well, we don't know what's wrong. They take an x-ray, everything looks fine. They can't do an MRI because of the metal in my back, and so they do a CT scan, and they find that I have broken my back, and I broke it years ago, probably when I was in labor with one of our boys. And your body is amazing; it can try to reheal itself. So every chance it gets, it's trying to regrow and reheal the bones, and it kept breaking when I would do something little, like bend down and pick up the kids to brush their teeth, whatever it was. And they're like, "You're gonna have surgery." I'm like, "No, I don't want to have surgery." And I had just become an ambassador, and actively working the business. So I started to learn a little bit more about the products, and I found Plexus Ease. And I started to take it. I took the loading dose, and a month in, I was off my anti-inflammatory medications. I was off my pain medications. I did not have the surgery that summer. I was on a vacation with my husband instead. I'm going down water slides. I'm walking around. Yes, my back will still hurt from time to time, but I can manage it with this, and that is what made me be all in and be such a big believer in this company. So I signed up for convention. How many people have been to convention? Okay, good. Sign up for convention if you haven't. I was sitting there in convention in Orlando in 2018, and I have my little notebook, and I'm a little silver ambassador, and I'm way in the back, and they announced where Leaders Retreat's going to be. Like it's going to be a Caribbean cruise. And so I'm sitting in a room, and there's 12,000 women in this room and 5 men. And I'm sitting there, and they say, okay, the first 1,500 people are going to get on the cruise ship. And I write down, I will be on Leaders Retreat. And as a Silver Ambassador last year, I earned that trip, and I was on Leaders Retreat for my husband and I. Awesome. And then I get on that ship, and I learn from leaders. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go gold now. And I did. I went gold after that. And then on Saturday, went senior gold. I've earned Leaders Retreat again, plus a few extra prizes. So it is something that is reachable, but you just have to be consistent, because all of the times, every time that I achieved something is because I was being consistent. And I can't say enough about that. So to end, a few weeks ago, I was sitting in Mass, and we had this wonderful priest who came and gave a homily. And he's visited all over the world. He's met the Pope, he's met all these famous people, and he said we all get 24 hours in a day. We all get the same time. It's just how we utilize that time, what we are going to do at that time. And then it got me thinking about faith. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not just faithful on Sunday for that 1 hour when you go to church. That is in your life. That is how you are. That is how the choices you make, how you teach your children. And Plexus is like that too, right? I mean, the people that are really successful with Plexus, they are living it. They're in it. It's in their choices they make. They're in health and wellness. It's what they do. It's who they are. And people can see that. And if that's really you, if that's really what you want, then you have to believe it. You have to do it. You have to do it every single day. And if you haven't started today, start today, and then do it tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and just don't stop. So that's it. Thank you so much.